Captain, if you can, and give us a log, please.
Captain's log, Stardate 54727.5. We have been able to recover the SS Spirit of Discovery along with a Nausicaan raider that attacked the Discovery and ourselves. We've also taken several dozen Nausicaans into custody, most from the ship, a few from the Discovery. We have about 12 hours till we make it back to Starbase 134, and a lot of questions to be answered. End Captain's log.
And with that, we open up on the ready room as we discuss what we're gonna be doing with all these people and how we're going to handle the warping of two vessels while towing them.
Are both vessels functional?
They are structurally sound, and that's about it. It would take many hours of hard repair to get them warp capable. Plus, there's also the question of who's going to pilot the Nausicaan.
I
Well, we
think
could
Maddox can.
the. You first.
I think Maddox can have the ships on relatively short tractor beams, and then we'll just extend our warp boat load.
Do we actually need to bring the Nausicaan ship along?
We don't need to, but it's kind of just like a somewhat heavily armed ship that's not going to be it's not destroyed. So either we have to destroy something or not, and we really haven't convicted them of a crime, so we can't just go destroying their property.
Wouldn't it be easy to just like focus on fixing the spirit of discovery while we tow the knife wound?
In
We could
theory,
sit.
if we do field repairs to the Spirit of Discovery while here, we can have at least enough to get the ship warp capable. We'll be able to bring it back with us near Starbase.
We can have people on it repairing it, but we could also just tow it. I don't think there's a downside to towing it.
I think the only downside to towing is, didn't we have the tractor beam wasn't functioning very well from the last session, if I remember right.
No, the tractor beam is functioning well. It's just the mechanics of towing two vessels at warp, or even just towing a ship at warp. It slows you down. It's possible. It's just that you won't be going your max speed. But otherwise, it's safe.
I stand corrected.
Yeah, we wouldn't be going back at max anyways. We'd go back at cruising. So
How long would it?
Would a sustained tractor beam even be necessary at warp in space?
Yeah, you don't want them moving around because if they break the warp bubble, it's not good for anybody.
How long would it take
Would-
to just focus our repairs on the Spirit of Discovery?
Probably have to send the chief engineer over there.
Chief, give me a reason in engineering roll difficulty 2 to get a rough estimate.
We simply not be capable of just simply attaching the tractor beam to them, jumping to warp, and then disengaging and allowing inertia to carry them, and only using the tractor beam to make minor course corrections if necessary?
I don't think inertia works like that in warp because technically the ships aren't going that fast. It's more about keeping them in the warp bubble. The thing that lets you go faster than the speed of light is the fact that it's the warp bubble that's moving in space, not us. It's space that's moving in space because we can't move faster than the speed of light, but space can. So if we let them just like free float and I guess there's a course correction that's wrong and they and they break through the warp bubble, then who knows what could happen.
Okay, message sent to you, Bob. And as far as the warp calculation, Archer, go ahead and give me a reason con on roll difficulty. Normally 2, I'm going to say 3 because I was towing 2 vessels at once. It's kind of a tricky maneuver. Yep, those are applicable. And you can give me threat for extra dice if you would like. Excellent.
Captain, considering that we shut down the warp core on the Spirit of Discovery, my best guess would be a 4 to 6 hour repair to get the ship back operational.
And if we do, it's a simple job of towing the Nausicaan vessel.
We could also try calling Starfleet to see if they could bring in a extra ship for towing.
I'll be honest, I'm not sure we should ask Starfleet to call a whole other ship out for a simple tow job, especially if we can do most of the repairs ourselves. I'll admit my larger concern is the Nausicans.
They're safe in the brig.
It's not about where they are, it's more about what they want. The pattern I observed in the cargo bay was that of a specific search. It wasn't just random acts of piracy. They passed up on some valuable materials before deciding to transport some artifacts that we don't know the actual commercial value of, assuming there is any. It's not like most people in the galaxy have a huge interest in. Did we ever find out what type of artifacts those are?
I don't think we have.
You have not found out yet. a closer look is required, but you just know they're tagged as general fragile archaeological finds.
Yeah, there isn't huge marks for archaeological finds, especially by a group that, as far as I can tell, doesn't seem to have much of a fixer for them. I'm also concerned about the spirit of discovery. One of the crew members, an Andorian woman, she seemed very concerned about those artifacts. It could just be loyalty to a job. Maybe she was hired to protect them or something, but I think there is definitely something going on here.
All right. I think we'll stay here and repair the Discovery. It'll take, from the ensign's estimate, it's going to take us about the same amount of time, whichever approach we take. But if we sit here for a little bit longer, they may have friends that come looking, and their friends might have more answers than just what the Nausicaans on board are willing to provide. Chief, I'm gonna send you over and give you temporary command of the Discovery. And just notify us once repairs are complete.
Take a team with me.
Yeah, you can take as many personnel as you need. Commander Calder, you can go ahead and get started on interviewing the Nausicaans.
I'd like to help out there as well.
Okay.
That would be acceptable.
And I think while that is happening, I think Commander Tolek should, well, we should attempt to look through the Nausicaan ship logs to figure more about them.
Yes, Commander Tolek, I'd like a complete write-up on those artifacts, and you can also look into the ship logs of the Nausicaan vessel. Although you only have a few hours to go over the Nausicaan vessel, because once we're under tow, I think we're gonna not have anybody on that ship.
3 hours and 50 minutes by my count, Captain.
Alright, make it so.
Aye, Captain.
And with that, you'll break for your various duties. Ensign Archer wants to have a sidebar with the captain for a moment, so
Then as soon as everyone else leaves, and the door closes behind them, what can I do for you, Ensign?
with your permission, I would like to start a project. I will at least need a phaser, Ensign Archer says.
this project.
I want to attempt to upgrade a hand phaser.
What do you mean by upgrade?
Trying to increase the damage output by adding the ability to fire twice as fast as with a hand phaser. Or a phaser rifle, most likely. It will take a couple weeks, but I need Captain's permission to start experimenting with it.
That'd be fine. You can take on that project in your spare time, but you'll have to keep in mind that we primarily use these as defensive weapons, so we know how to make them more powerful, but we choose not to in most cases. So you'll have to keep an eye out for what the end product actually is, because there are certain versions of an upgraded phaser that we're not going to be able to allow.
Okay, Captain, I will keep that in mind. Thank you. And was there anything else that Archer or Elder wanted to discuss?
Nope.
Excellent. And with that, we'll end scene. Let's start with Maddox. X back on the Spirit. We're not going to move to that map. But over here, Maddox, who are you taking over, and how do you want to start this?
So I'd like to take over the three engineering staff, security, and a con officer. Yes. Appropriate engineering tools, engineering tricorders, and toolkits. to repair the damage to the warp drive systems, and we need to do something about that hole in the hull from the penetrating vessel.
Okay. Probably gonna have to activate a crew support for the security officer, but from your engineering skill, I'll allow that to be used for the advantage for the engineering team. So, do we want to spend crew support for the security officer on the Spirit?
I'm okay with that.
Yep.
Well, it means as a security officer, we want to just use Daiba.
Yeah, that's what it is. Is you're spending one of the ship's resources to have Daiba beam over with the engineering team.
And if I recall something in Daiba's notes,
This would be the second activation of Daiba. So we can add a talent, a focus, or we can increase an attribute or a discipline by 1.
should we give Daiba the? Because if I recall, Daiba is a Beta Zord, so give him the empath ability talent if possible. If that seems reasonable to the party.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, we could do that. You have an empathic security officer. Excellent. So you beam over, and first things first, we are going to need control or reason engineering a difficulty 1 to assess the damage and figure out what you need to do to get this thing operational. Gain a momentum. Oops. And what you find is easily that you need to patch the hole, which shouldn't take too long at all, and then patch up the engine room and reinitialize the warp core. Other than that, it's fairly straightforward. There, actually, slight complication and with the hull breach though is that at the there are bulkhead fields in place, but there are like several sectors away from the breach, so you're gonna have to do EVA activity to actually get at the breach to repair it. So that might add an hour or two to your repair estimates. but you can at least get to the engine and without EVA chutes. Engines and engineering have atmosphere. The cargo bay has been evacuated.
I'll assume I can split the crew and have two work in the engine room and two work on the hull.
Yep, that could be possible. Kind of splitting your resources a bit. So, where are you going to be focusing in your efforts at?
I will be focusing my personal efforts on reinitializing the warp core after we get the engine room patched up.
Excellent. So this is going to be an extended task. Let me write that up real quick.
Testing, 1, 2.
Testing.
Gotcha.
So this is going to be a magnitude 3 task, work track 13, control engineering. And each roll will be 2 intervals, which will be about an hour's of work.
I'll make my first roll then.
Yep, you do have 1 momentum, and I'm always eager to have threat.
I will go ahead and add a momentum to this first round.
Okay, 1 momentum spent.
I'll use my cautious engineering discipline and re-roll one of the d20s.
Okay. Unfortunately, the Nausicaans did a number on this warp core and on this engineering room, and you had to spend an hour or just replacing the main console and getting that operational to even see what you're looking at. So there's 12 intervals left, -2, so there's that. Um, while you're are handling that, Tolak, are you gonna be up to?
I will be heading over to the Nausicaan ship and attempt to pull their sensor logs, crew logs, any relevant logs that will give us some indication as to what they were up to.
Okay, and you're beaming over yourself.
No, that does not seem prudent.
So
Who do we have available to go?
you can beam over directly, or there are ways you can set up a remote data patch.
It would probably be best to have eyes on, so beaming over would be the best option.
Okay.
Uh,
Archer is volunteering to go with you if the captain would allow it.
Yep.
do we have any leftover engineering or security extras?
If not, we can make one.
Do you want an actual like crewman, or do you want like a support team?
Yeah, I thought at the very least having a red shirt come along.
So there's
Just-
there's like two ways to do it. You can have an actual person that can shoot phasers, or you could have a security support, which just kind of like gives you an advantage whenever you're doing anything security related.
An actual phaser shooting crewman. Good.
I could join with you.
I mean, we can just make an extra crew support if needed.
Yeah, we can make an extra crew support really quick.
Oh yeah, didn't you have a crew support with the medic, so you could have had like assistance with the fixing?
Well, we have 4 crew supports, so you can definitely make use of it.
I think having something, yeah, one for security, yeah, would would be helpful.
You want to go ahead and pop a sheet up there, and I'll fill it in.
Yep, popping sheet now. One
So
one NPC coming up. So we have Commander Tolak, Ensign and Matthews, and um and I put that in the wrong slot. There we go. All players. All players. There we go. Now you should be able to see and edit that sheet.
You need to drag it under crew support folder.
Okay. Any other gear, supplies, things you want to take with you?
So we will need tricorders, data links, whatever would be required to access the NUS computer system.
Okay, well, tricorders are standard gear, so nothing. You're not going to need anything like a spatial charge or Type 3 phaser or EVA suits. You're not taking any of that with you?
I'll make sure that I have my own Type 2 phaser, I believe it is.
Yep, as a command officer, you have Type 2.
I think we're good on that.
Alright, and with that, the three of you beam to the other ship. It's definitely not Federation in design. The ceilings are a lot higher. It's kind of dark and gritty looking. You can see the bulkhead right on the wall. And there's also that acrid smoke of exploding consoles. It was all over the place because you guys did a wallop on this ship not too long ago. But as far as movement or signs of life, it seems empty.
Scan, as a precaution, scan the ship for any lifestyle.
Reason science or medicine difficulty E1.
Alright. Take me a second. Okay, where's reason? Science. Reason. Good. Complication range 1.
Yep.
Focus used. I don't believe I have any focuses that apply here.
Anything to do with life signs or sensor operations. Infiltration.
I have emergency medicine, trauma surgery, and survival, which I probably the only thing.
I'll take survival. That seems relevant. Making sure that there's no one around.
Okay. So, task roll.
Task roll will normally be at 2. You can
Okay,
modify that by either spending momentum or generating a threat for me.
We'll take it at. We'll keep it at 2.
All right. Then click the little chevron next to task roll. And you just make it. There are 3 life signs. 1 Vulcan, 1 human, and another Vulcan.
Perfect. As many as I'm going to see. Very good. Let us proceed to, let's say, the main computer core.
Okay. Someone give me a reason con roll difficulty 1. Just anyone in the away team. Because you're not exactly sure where the computer core would be on a alien ship. Go ahead, Archer.
Can I assist on the roll? Can I assist Archer on the roll? That thing.
Yes. And then Tolex assist.
Do I roll that, or does he?
You roll that using your stats. So you would set
Very good.
your attributes to reason, discipline to con. If
Yep.
you have any applicable focuses, and then your task roll will be set to 1 for an assist.
Technical expertise, computer expertise, dedicated focus, science. Any of that sound good?
Nope.
Okay.
Alright.
Nope.
Well, you at least get 1 momentum out of that.
And I think on the dedicated focus, you need to choose a focus from your list on the side.
I gotcha.
That's how you get the benefit from it.
All right, then let's go. That's a tough call. Astrophysics.
Okay, you have a dedicated focus in astrophysics. But with that, you find the computer core are fairly easy. It's kind of jammed into the engineering room. They didn't dedicate a lot of space to the computer core. But it's in there, and you can gain access.
All right, well, let's get about connecting to the computer core.
All right, this will be control engineering or science. Normally difficulty 1. I'm gonna push it to difficulty 2 because it is a foreign and computer system.
All right, so control science, you say?
Yep, and Archer, you can assist with control science or control engineering. And any focuses or talents.
I have a value that says I understand computers better than people.
Okay, so if you want to use your talent, right now, you would basically be pre-rolling one of the dice as a 1, and you would get 2 successes as automatically. But it's a difficulty 2.
Computer expertise.
All right. Computer expertise. That. Okay, so you already get a bonus d20 to your roll, so you'd be rolling 3 d20 since you're dealing with computers.
Okay. So, yes, I have a focus, complication range is 2, and the task roll is 3?
Complication range is 1, and the task range is 3, because you'll be rolling 3 dice.
Gotcha. Coming up.
And Archer, you can assist. Oh no.
Dude. Is that like a critical failure?
That is a critical failure, and born air warp core, that means you just ignore it for free. Okay, go ahead and roll 1 challenge dice. Unfortunately, the complication still stands. But I'm just going to take it as threat. There's a slight mishap with if gaining access to the computer or Ensign in Archer or accidentally triggers a viral eraser program and trying to gain access. But luckily, Talok managed to isolate the virus and put it off to the side away from the critical logs he was getting. Unfortunately, that virus is now erasing things like command codes and instructions on how to run the ship. So in order to get the ship operational, it's going to be that much more difficult to get it to fly again.
I will glare at Archer with eyebrow raised in disapproval.
It was an honest accident, and a pirate ship would have booby traps like that.
Be more careful in the future, Ensign, will you?
Alright, and what would you like to gain access to first?
Start with personal logs, Captain.
Okay, and are you going to be reading them up here, or are you just downloading them and going to process them back on the Svallinn?
Just download it. We'll download them here and read them back on the ship.
Excellent. Okay, so we have Captain's and personal log. What's next? Just give me your shopping list.
Okay, Captain's personal log, crew's personal log, flight records. I think that's what they call it. I'm just too stupid to think of it right now.
Yep, that counts.
And ship's manifest.
Excellent, and it's gonna take a couple of minutes. You're sitting there for 15 minutes. It's just waiting for this to download, and my music should not have stopped. Just sitting in tense and silence as you download all these files to your tricorder, and sitting in an alien ship. Not sure or what other booby traps are going on. Definitely aware that this is a pirate vessel. It's rough around on the edges. And finally, your tricorder beeps and says transfer complete.
Okay. What else? Matt, I guess that would be in the logs. Any messages that the ship would have received?
Yep, we can add communication messages.
Yes, that one too.
Excellent. Communication log download. you're looking at like several gigabytes of data at this point. It's going to take a lot to process all of that. Oh, and are you copying them, or are you copy deleting them? Are you leaving the originals on their computer core?
That's an interesting question. Delete them.
Logs deleted from original. And at this point, I don't know that. Suddenly, the gravity goes off.
I will yet again cast a disapproving glance at Archer.
I wasn't aware we had to
And in a gruff of alien tongue, it gives a general all distress that, hey, life support's not working. I don't know how to do this thing anymore.
Contact the ship and have them transport us back immediately.
Captain Elder, you get a communication from the away team on the uh, a Noskin ship knife wound, requesting immediate beam out.
Yeah, we'll have the transporter room do it.
Um, Ensign, if you want to take a guess of that, either daring medicine or reason medicine difficulty. I would say difficulty 1, because as this would be standard training.
It might be better to take a shot at that.
Yep, go ahead. Daring medicine or reason medicine.
It'll be reason medicine, and I should have a focus in it.
And what is the focus?
I have emergency medicine, trauma surgery, and survival. Sure, one of them will apply.
Survival, oh, for sure.
Okay. Okay. So complication range 1, task roll will be 2.
Correct. And the ensign can assist if you like both talk through this.
Absolutely. Try not to set up viruses.
Oh no. So you gain a momentum, but you have a complication on the table.
That's Is there a way to eliminate them?
You can spend and 2 momentum into quash a complication, or I can and take it and do something hilarious with it, or I can bank it and put it in my threat pool.
How much momentum do we have right now?
We have 4 momentum, and you normally have a cap of 6.
Oh. I say we burn the 2 momentum. I'd rather not die in the vacuum of space.
Okay. Doing a quick math of your respiratory rate and the size of and the interior size of the ship and all that. Even if life support were, with the warning going off, life support is in the process of shutting down, you easily have a couple hours of oxygen left. It's just, hey, I don't have gravity. I'm kind of awkward in non-gravity situations.
How long till beam out?
30 seconds. And because there's no other power signatures and stuff, this is actually a fairly standard beam out. And with that, you rematerialize back on the Svallinn and transporter room. And take a nice deep breath, and you stomp your foot on the ground and reassure that you have gravity again.
Ensign, if you wouldn't mind, please take this data, connect it to the main computer, and begin diving through it.
Yes, Commander, sir. The ensign says. And with that, we will cut back to Dr. Sullivan. What have you been up to for the past hour?
Do we have access to the logs yet?
This is before or the logs. I'm cutting back an hour, so Tulek, Eka, and Archer are on the way to get the logs at this point.
Okay, in that case, I'm simply. Where are we keeping the crew of the Discovery?
You're keeping them in sick bay just for monitoring at this point.
So I'm not gonna head to Noskins just yet. I'm going to check up to see if there are any sort of interrogation logs that we've made right when we picked them up, or if they've just been sitting there.
Was Calder gonna go interrogate the Noskins after the meeting? I believe that was the task he was given.
Alright, has there been anything like that before the meeting?
Not yet. This was basically you checked up on the Noskins, and all that has happened to them is they've been basically processed, name, rank, serial number, planet of origin, and here's all the weapons we're definitely taking off you. Lots of knives. Lots and lots of stabby things.
In that case, I'm going to guess it's not going to be possible for me to wait until the interrogation is done to talk to people.
You figure within another hour, you have an hour until any information from interrogation would come up.
Alright, I'm going to go in for an initial round of talking with the crew members. See if they're able to just tell me any basic information about what they were carrying. Would we happen to have a ship manifest? In terms of what, like a manifest log and a flight pass?
Yeah, you easily can get those from the Discovery because it's a Federation ship and they're not trying to hide it. You actually have the Starbases as copy of the ship manifest and their designated flight path, and it's already been cross-referenced with the internal logs, and they seem to match.
Alright, so that's flight path. Does it mention cargo manifest?
In skink detail, there's still privacy thing about out cargo manifest, and there's the standard things of there's medical supplies, there's some raw ore that's going to be shipped if somewhere, some weapons that are legal and going to be transferred or to a private security firm or deeper in the core, and then the personal artifacts of Dr. Severkars.
Personal artifacts, as in the stuff that the Noskins found and wanted?
That's a reasonable exception. It's just listed as personal archaeological artifacts and no details, which is standard protocol.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to head. I'm going to be in. I'm going to be in sickbay.
Okay. You're in sick bay. A Captain Jill Thompson is resting in the corner. Doctor Avery is Vercros. Since I made the name, I could have made it something I can actually pronounce. Zavekros. She's actually arguing with your nursing staff and kind of refusing care.
Karen's going to give a not visible sigh before walking in and saying, "Hey, anything I can help with?"
Yes, I need to get back to the ship. That equipment and artifacts are very, very delicate.
Right now, your ship is a radiation hotbed covered in plasma fires. Did we get the cargo off the ship?
You did.
And your cargo isn't on there. We removed it. It is currently safe in our care. There isn't anything actually on the ship for you. If you wish, I can get one of the unlucky ensigns to ship you back some personal effects.
She tries getting out of bed and winces heavily as she puts weight on her left leg.
I'm gonna try to stand in front of her and make sure she can't move past me and go, "Doctor, I think you might have broken some bones. That typically happens when Noskins throw you against walls. Are you going? If you want, I can find a device to help you oversee your cargo. Get you a pad so we can monitor the cargo bay. Would that keep you at ease?"
I don't need anyone else looking into it. It's classified.
Classified by who?
By the Daystrom Institute, which is hilarious because they're kind of like a civilian in university, and classified isn't a term you can really throw around at a military. Or you can't throw that at classification at Starfleet.
Yeah, Karen actually gives somewhat of a giggle. I'm not sure Daystrom Institute has power over Starfleet to classify private materials. And I'm not sure that Daystrom Institute is interested in general archaeological finds, unless you happen to have some sort of amazing AI research you found.
Possibly.
Actually, the cargo is what I wanted to talk to you about. Do you mind if I ask you some questions about it? Seeing as I know it's technically classified, but if this possibly poses a major threat to us or anyone else in Starfleet, we have a right to know.
I'll speak to you and your captain in about it. Just
Do you
we need to make sure or that it's handled safely. I don't want it. Not that it's any risk to the ship. I just want to make sure or that it is handled safely so it's not destroyed. These artifacts are incredibly old. 200,000 years.
Right now, the cargo is on our ship. You don't need to head to yours to get there. I can let you down, but you would need a medical escort. In that case, probably me. And I would need to get you an assistive device because I don't think you're walking anywhere on that leg.
I've had worse.
You've had worse, but these are legal procedures, not just medical ones. I can't have you permanently busting your leg open.
Fine, I waive my right to medical care.
Karen actually stops a second, and GM, may I ask what this means?
It means that as a Federation in citizen, as long as it's not a life-saving procedure, she can say, "Hey, I refuse medical care at this time," as long as she's of clear mind and not under the influence of anything. It's kind of like signing yourself out of a hospital emergency room. You can do it. You'll be under protest of the doctor, but quite legally, she has that right to body autonomy of such things. It is also incredibly stupid because she does have multiple fractures in her femur, and you know this.
At this point, I'm gonna have to look at her and say, legally, I would have to make you walk out of here on your own. Unfortunately, if you try to walk out of here on your own, you will possibly permanently injure your leg.
Give me a presence medicine roll opposed. She does not want to do this.
Surgery, xenobiology, emergency medicine, stealth, investigate.
Emergency medicine. I'm sure there's definitely such a thing as pinning someone down, and who doesn't want to take medicine.
Oh, I'm not physically pinning her down.
Not physically. And I'm spending a threat for a third dice. I have no focus on this.
Shit!
As I got a nat 1. So I gain 2 momentum. Threat on this side.
Can I at least give you a wheelchair so you can get there without breaking your leg?
Actually, I'm gonna spend and the 2 threat I generated. No, just 2. Yeah. And she is going to violently shove the nurse away, and like the nurse goes head over heels over a counter, and she is hobbling away a out the door.
And she has just assaulted a Starfleet officer. I'm going to hit my comm badge and say, incident in the medical room. I'm gonna need some light backup. Don't need to come heavily armed. I'm sure she'll be okay. And grab the off-button hypospray. It's pretty clear at this point she is off something.
The off-button hypospray. I love it.
I mean, what else do they use the hypo spray for but for turning people off?
Okay, so general security alert is sent out to ensigns and stop her in the hallway, and she tries hobbling her way through, and she's stopped just enough for you to catch up to her and administer the hypospray. Control medicine, uh, difficulty oppose, as she's gonna try to fight back.
Spend the momentum.
Yeah, I'm actually definitely spending momentum on that.
Excellent. You should have rolled 3 dice.
Yeah, there we go.
We are matched. I can let you succeed at cost.
I'll do that.
Okay. The cost is you don't get a full tranquilizer in her. She only got a half dose, so she's not knocked out. She's just kind of woozy at the moment, and still kind of flailing around.
But she stopped.
Oh no, she went from active and limping to like 3 sheets to the wind.
In that case,
And the ensigns very helpfully he kind of pin her arms, grab her legs, and he's gonna drag her back to sick bay.
Captain, this is Sullivan. Our Andorian guest seems to be out of sorts. Do we happen to know if there is a counselor on board who could possibly help with this? I'm not great with people.
Yes, Doctor. If I read the crew roster right, Lieutenant Vera should be able to help you. I would ask, Doctor, that you take a chance to learn your staff in the future, but the name's Lieutenant Vera. Should be off duty right now.
Thank you for the reminder, Captain. And she's going to try and call up Lieutenant Vera.
Vera here.
Vera, we have something interesting going on with one of our guests. She seems out of sorts, and was pretty physically reluctant to do anything that would impede her checking on her cargo. Do you mind helping me out?
Sure, I could be there in 5 minutes. Have you done a toxicology scan on her?
Not yet. I should also note she has legally waived her right to medical care. But I don't know if she is of sound mind. I'm gonna get that toxicology report. Thank you.
Okay, I'll be up there in 5 minutes. And do you sedate her or fully and get her unconscious, and then do a tox report?
A tox report, does that need to physically get a bit of her blood?
It's just like another hyper. Actually, no. Oh, you can do a tricorder scan for that.
Yeah, I'd prefer to actually have it done while awake to see if any particular hormones while awake will be able to change it, will be noticeably spiked. Do I have anything compared to when she was asleep?
Yeah, the sickbay would have like a baseline scan and of her when she's asleep.
I'm gonna compare awake to asleep and see if there's any difference the usual beyond the usual hormonal stuff.
Okay. This would be a reason medicine and difficulty 1 task. Assisted by ship's sensors medicine. Or ship's computer medicine. Computer medicine sounds better.
Okay, what do I notice?
Report coming in now.
I'm not getting anything.
I'm typing it up.
You type that.
I'm still typing it up. Okay, report has been sent to Discord.
So it doesn't. So beyond the increased adrenaline, which is natural, and the immune system spike, maybe being part of the broken femur, uh, not much is all that noticeable. Um, Even the alcohol, she'd be perfectly within her right to do that. She's not piloting.
Yeah, and the blood report implies that it's been filtered through her system for the last 3 hours, and it's low enough that she's well within the sobriety range. You wouldn't get pulled over for blowing that much.
So yeah, nothing in toxicology.
And at that, we we finally we finally get a notification that the logs are back on board from the Noskin and ship. New
Okay.
new scene as Calder. What have you been doing for the past little bit? As Maddox goes to the spirit to repair it, Tolek and Archer go to the knife wound to grab their logs, and Sullivan gets in a fist fight.
I want to figure out why they what was their big catch from this ship.
So, are you talking to the crew directly, or are you going through evidence?
I'll skim through the evidence, then interrogate w- someone that looks like the ship's captain.
Okay. So you would be in the cargo bay searching through the cargo. Um, and what are we looking for? Just trying to see what's in the doctor's or scary box.
Yes, would forensics works for this check.
Yes, to check in the. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay, that was a weird pop up. For this, it would be a reason, security, or science. Ants roll, difficulty 2, focus and forensics would work. Anything else you want to add to it?
I think I'll spend a momentum for a third dice.
Okay. Alright, you are rolling 3 dice. Nice. Reason, security, or science. And you have a focus in forensics.
Yep, I'm doing reason and security.
It should have just been in 3 dice, so I'll take the first. There's 3, which means you generate 2 momentum. And I will generate a message for what you find in there.
Okay.
Okay. The report's generated on your tricorder, or you can read it on Discord.
Rocks, pottery, ancient artifacts dating 200,000 years, ancient texts, hard drives, data storage and the like powered down, part of rock wall with carving. Any uh, would lead investigator help with that check?
Yes, you would generate a 1 free question with that.
Okay. Would I know what kind of civilization that this could be from?
Um, you are unsure, or it's kind of outside of the standard purview. You would have to get with the computer cross reference and to figure it out, but it's not something that immediately jumps out at you.
Okay. I will uh, take the digital pictures of the carvings and some of the other pictures, and maybe and is there a way for me to check out anything in the data storage stuff?
Not without directly interfacing and powering on. They're basically just hard drives sitting in a plate you would have to plug into a computer and power it on. Which, considering how old they are, may or may not be a bad idea.
Feel like with this stuff it might be more of uh, Maddox's forte. So
Uh,
I'll
yes, definitely. But with the lead investigator role, you can take the pictures and cross-reference and sit with your our library computer. Reason security, actually, be more reason engineering, science difficulty 4, assisted by I ship's computer or science.
could you repeat that?
To cross-reference into the pictures of the iconography you took, it would be difficulty 4 or check. Reason engineering or science, assisted by ship's computer science. It is also about this time that at Tolok and the first away team aim beams back to the ship. As you're going through and processing all of this,
I'm going to spend a momentum.
okay, so you'd be rolling 3
Wait.
dice. And
Now let's roll the ship, which is what
it'll be
again?
computer science. Anything you want to do with that complication?
I don't have the momentum to counter it, so nah.
Actually, something fun's gonna happen with that complication. But as far as your computers errors go, I mean, you have a Federation computer, but it's not really meant to have this kind of deep archaeological files and stuff preloaded to it. If you were on a survey mission, your computer might have that information, but with the loadout that the Svallinn has, you have no idea. It's just coming up blank.
Okay. Well, that's it for the cargo, so it looks like I'm going to begin interrogating the captain of the Night Moon.
All right. and it's fairly easy to figure out who the captain is. Basically, the biggest, ugliest guy in the room that everyone else seems to be avoiding.
I'm gonna have three unnamed guards escort him to a room to interrogate him.
Okay, so I'll put him in an isolated room.
Yes.
Excellent, that could be arranged. And in this interrogation in room, do you want a force field between the two of you? Do you want him strapped to a chair? Any other security measures you want to take with this man?
I think I'll do the force field and give him like space slightly larger than a cell.
Excellent. So, um, he, you manage to pull him out of the cell. He tries to backhand one of the security guards, but the security guards are ready for this. Then they manhandled him down the hallway and into an interrogation cell. I'm assuming I'm not speaking with the captain of this fine vessel.
No, sadly, speaking with the chief of security.
Very well. How can I help you?
What are your reasons for letting the Spirit of the Discovery, the transport ship?
Monetary reasons, but I'm sure are to explain that to you it would take far too long. Starfleet.
Then I doubt, if you're only looking for monetary reasons, then I doubt that these things were plenty of importance. Quickly going through the images of the artifacts, but quick enough so he can't really read them.
Yeah, that's easy enough. You can throw it up on a pad and kind of swipe through them in a holographic display. He just shrugs. Those things are of interest to us.
Why are they important to you?
Because they are worth something to someone.
Are you allowed to indulge whom?
Generally, no. Depends on what you can pay me. Oh, wait. You can and try to arrest us with your Federation laws, but in reality, we are not Federation citizens. So we will be extradited back to our home world within the month. This is merely a career inconvenience for me. Insight security roll difficulty 2. and any focuses you think might apply.
Starfleet protocol?
Yep, that'll work.
Okay.
Okay. He is bluffing. This will getting in captured by a Federation starship in Federation space, attacking a Federation citizen. Um, yeah, he's nailed to the wall. He is going away for a very long time, and there's no amount out of screaming extradition that will get him out of this. He is going to jail for a very long time.
Okay, I'm going to list off the charges, and then I'll say I highly doubt you'll be extradited for attacking a Federation civilian in via ship and citizens, plus including and additionally Starfleet vessels and personnel.
You do not know who you are messing with. This goes far beyond on a simple cargo vessel, and there is much latinum online. I doubt that you or your ship will survive long enough to charge me.
If the Gem Hadargu can take the ship down, then I doubt you can.
Nice callback. 10 points. Any other questions, Starfleet?
That's it. I'll just order security to bring him back to his cell.
Okay, they do so, and he kind of throws them off his arms, but he walks back to the cell. He's not putting up that much of a fight anymore.
I'm going to Captain Elder. Security to Elder.
Oh Lord.
That was way loud. I'm sorry.
This is Captain Elder.
I believe this Nautian crew is part of something larger. Larger because from what I learned is they were planning to grab the artifacts to get a lot of latinum for it. Did it come clear?
All right, Commander.
Very quickly during this time, Captain and Elder, have you been in contact with Starbase Ace 134? Have you notified them of the situation?
Yeah, I would have updated them of our status.
Okay, and you inform them that you're just hanging out. You're gonna repair the vessel and then be on your way in a couple hours.
Yeah.
Excellent. And Maddox, next, you've been working tirelessly on this engine room.
Continuing to try to get the warp drive back online, and engineer and the area straightened out.
Yep, the last hour has been a pain in the ass for you. You trying to just get a console connected to the warp core working. But let's try this again. Control engineering, difficulty, multi 3, magnitude 3, work track 13.
I use a determination point to get a third D20.
Yep, what determination are you using? What value are you calling on?
Um, warp propulsion systems or impulse propulsion systems?
Those are focuses. The values are the.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I'm sorry. Bear with me.
you're fine.
The engineer heals the ship just as the medic heals the crew.
That is definitely applicable. Oh, determination spent. And a focus in warp propulsion systems would definitely work.
And I
Did you?
have, I'm sorry.
Okay, so you have one dice on the table, already rolled, all the +2. Any other, er, and you'll be rolling control engineering with a focus in warp field propulsion. Anything else? Any other talents or any other dice you want to buy?
All right, so the +2 is that already 2 successes? Is that what
Yeah,
that means?
yeah. You have
Okay,
2 successes already.
gotcha.
Doesn't he also get support from the support character? Well, assist.
Yeah, you can get an assist from the engineering team. They don't roll for you, but you can apply them to help speed up the work. Or yeah, it works like an advantage. So you can use the engineering team to lower the difficulty, or make the work go faster.
Um, 2 successes is difficulty 3. And I also have the um, veteran status, so that when I do burn a point of determination, I can roll a challenge dice to see if I get my determination point back.
Yep. So go ahead and roll a challenge dice right now. If you get a symbol, you get it back. And you get it back.
Oh my!
Awesome. So the engineering team, I think your best bet would be to lower the difficulty. So,
Yeah.
okay, so you'd be rolling 2 dice, control engineering with a focus. And you are basically just us rolling for momentum.
Sounds like we could use a little bit of that right now.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, now I'll roll 2 plus your engineering skill or in challenge dice to see how much work you get done. Plus, don't you have talents? I think you have talents regarding work.
Right tool for the right job.
What's right tool for right job do?
I would have to look it up, but I'm pretty sure it has something to do, like, if you have a tool, you get a second advantage if it's the correct tool. Let me see real quick.
If you have a tool with an opportunity cost, the tool grants an advantage if it did not do so originally, or increases the advantage it provides by 1 step.
So you would have needed to gotten a tool. You have tools in your kit, but you would need to find one that applies to this situation.
And
Because I,
and for our work, the effects just count as 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Like, so on your next time you go to roll the control engineering task, I will help look up what tools you could use for this situation.
okay.
And you'll just have to say which one when you go to roll, and then instead of giving 1 advantage, like lowering the difficulty or something, it'll give you 2 advantages. So you could lower it by 2, or reduce the complication by 1, and lower difficulty by 1. All those kind of cool things.
And with that just on the table, you have 5 work and 1 breakthrough. Unless you want to spend a momentum to reroll the other 3, or to do... Well, there's no resistance, and so...
Did you already get a breakthrough?
1
Yes.
breakthrough, yes. Yeah.
You can't get another one unless you complete the work track on this roll, so I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay, so you got 1 breakthrough, you got the engine room cleared up, the consoles are now functioning, and that's all taken care of. So the next roll would be a... let me set this up. Okay, so we're now looking at the control plus engineering, aim task, difficulty 2, magnitude on the work track, and 7 work left. And 8 out of 12 intervals left.
So do I go ahead and take another roll, or?
Yep, go ahead and take
Okay.
another roll.
I'm sorry. I didn't know if you were cutting away or I'm sorry.
Let me real quick look for a tool.
Yeah, I think everyone else's plot lines have been taken care of and for the moment, so I'll let you get a couple hours work in on this.
I assume I could do the determination again.
No.
Okay, that's just the.
Well, yes, because you rolled an effect on veteran.
Oh, he got it back.
Yeah, you got it back. but it's difficulty 2 already. It's kind of overkill unless you want to really bank up momentum on it. You can if you want to. It just seems a little frivolous.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine.
So, what exact task are you working on right now?
Restoring a warp core.
Um, technically, the engineering kit has an opportunity cost of 1. I think it doesn't. Well, no, it doesn't have one because it's standard for engineering.
It's standard for an engineer, so I don't think that would count.
Best I've got, I don't really see anything else that could.
Uh, plasma torch maybe, if you're cutting away damaged pieces. Because I guess because of the plasma fire, maybe there would be damaged plating that you'd have to remove.
Or
There's a bunch more in the operations book.
Yeah, I'm looking through the operations book now.
the coolant leak, something to repair the conduits would work.
You know what? I'll accept a hyperspanner. Opportunity costs us 1, and it's used to remove bulkheads and stuff, and also realign systems and circuitry, which is kind of what you're doing. So, do you want to spend that with threat or momentum?
Momentum.
Hyper spanner is standard issue.
Oh, dang it! It is.
But the sonic driver does pretty much the same thing.
Okay, so we can do Sonic Driver for 1 momentum, and that'll activate right tool for the right job.
Which would mean that you basically have 2 advantages.
So you have 2 advantages in play for difficulty 2 task. Because he gets 1 advantage from the Sonic Driver and 1 advantage from the engineering team.
Yep. No,
Cool.
he gets 1 from that and 1 from the talent.
Okay, so you have 3 advantages total.
Yeah, if you brought an engineering team, he has 3, so you could reduce the difficulty to 0 and still have 1 left over.
Yeah, if that, you could totally do it.
Good to me.
And maybe the third advantage could be piercing.
There's no resistance, but you could do it for increased work or reduce interval.
Yeah, you could make this take half as long.
Okay, so now we're with using the engineering team and the Sonic Driver, or you can get at those broken consoles really easily. This would be control engineering difficulty 2 brought down down to 1 with the sonic driver, brought down to 0 with right tool for right job, and then this takes less time because you have an engineering team in with you as well. Generate one and got a complication. Have anything to do with that? Or could you? Or I could allow the engineering team to be the advantage to take care of that complication, and it will just take the regular time interval.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Okay, so you got a plan, and you told everyone, to you start taking down these bulkheads and reconnecting things. And there was a short plasma fire, a conduit. It blew out. So while still having the team on the task, they had to take it a little slower to get everything done. But you managed to reconnect all the plasma conduits safely without too much incident. Besides that, it just took you a little longer than you would like. So, roll your challenge dice. 4, 5, 6, 7. And with that, you got 1 breakthrough from so you have 7 work, so 1 breakthrough for 5 or more work, and then 1 breakthrough for completing the task roll. And with that, at a couple flicks next of your wrist, and the warp engine starts roaring back to life.
I'll report to the captain that the warp drive is back online.
How much longer, Commander, until all the repairs are finished?
We got to finish the hull breach.
Alright, keep us updated.
Aye, sir.
And the hull breach is going to be a whole nother kettle of fish. They've managed, and with especially the warp core back online, and your other team has been able to get the structural integrity fields closer to the breach, but they can't get a structural integrity field over the breach itself, so they can actually start working on a patch. So you're gonna have to do some EVA activity for this.
Are there?
I was gonna ask real quick where Archer was.
Archer has just beamed on board, or alongside Tolek and the security officer from the knife wound.
Okay, I'm going to tell Archer to go grab a shuttle and help Maddox with the removal of that object, because he said that was next, and we'll need to do something once Maddox removes it.
Doesn't the ship have work bees?
You'll need to tractor it in to the hull, to our ship.
I would say the Svallinn has 2 work bees. You're not really search and rescue, but you have them just in case you need to patch your own hull.
I think using 1 work bee to help with the spread out of discoveries a whole breach would be helpful. Wouldn't you agree, Captain?
Yeah, I'm trying to find the stats for
Pretty
it.
sure it's in ops.
I think actually in command, because that's where all the shell stuff is.
The Stay Runner class is in command. Page 62.
Yep, command, page 62.
For the work bee or the steam runner?
For the
It's
work
Stay
B.
Runner. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, work B is 69. Yeah, pretty standard. Yeah, I can draw up a sheet for this really quick, but it's not much.
Hey, I gotta use the restroom real quick.
Okay.
Okay, but it does have a special rule that cannot use any
Yeah.
helm action other than the maneuvers, but provides no life support. But it grants advantage workbee tools on all tasks made to use the workbee to perform external comparisons on the ship.
So, yeah,
Okay.
it provides an advantage.
Yeah, then I'll send Archer to grab the worker bee and go help Maddox from the outside.
Okay. Archer, you acknowledge? Excellent. And just within like 5 minutes of you beaming back to the ship, you head off to the shuttle bay to grab your work bee.
There, that way Commander Maddox does not have to manhandle a whole, like, dropship himself.
Yep.
And I mean, imagine that this will at least give Maddox an extra advantage.
Yeah, pretty much the work bee acts as an advantage to help with external repairs. Talek, is your microphone working yet?
Yes, sir. What was that?
Excellent. You just beam aim back to the ship. You're are walking your way back to your science labs, and Archer has been called off to go to the shuttle bay and grab a work bee, which leaves just you to scan over the logs and files that you took from the knife wound.
Any chance I could assist him?
You are free at this time. If you would like to assist him, you can and touch bases with him and assist.
Okay.
All right, so Talak and Calder are in the science lab.
sync the tricorder with the main computer and begin dicing. Run an algorithmic search pattern for looking for any mention of artifacts.
Okay. This would be reason security or reason science. Its role difficulty A2. I'm going to spend 2 threat to increase it to difficulty 3 because of the alien and computer interface. Assisted by ship's computer security. And
Okay.
Calder
I also
can
have,
and Calder can assist.
okay, and I have computer expertise as a talent. Yeah, computer expertise as a talent and understands computers better than people as a value.
Alright, so that value can apply if you want to use it. Computer expertise, that gives you 1 extra dice for this.
Okay. No
I
focuses
have-
that apply.
I think forensics count as a focus for me.
Forensics would definitely count as a focus. Talak, do you have a focus?
I don't think anything that applies. I've astrophysics, quantum mechanics, emergency medicine, physics, trauma surgery, and survival.
Nope. But at the forensics vote, yeah, I can't accept any of those focuses.
Yeah, sorry.
Reason plus
Okay, so we have a complication range of 3, did I hear?
complication in range of 1. The task is
1.
difficulty 3.
Task roll 3. Okay. Focus. I do have 2 momentum, it seems. Am I able to do something with that momentum?
Yes, you can, and spend. You already have 1 extra dice, so you spend 2 of them and roll 4 dice. Or you could spend 2 of them somehow and create an advantage.
All right, well, let's see what happens.
And Calder, you can assist.
Yep. I will spend a momentum to give myself a 3rd dice.
No, when you assist, you just roll 1 dice.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Okay. And now let's do the ship assist. Wow, all ones.
Okay, and this was 3, so you gain 2 momentum.
Which should bring our total to 4, if I'm counting right.
Yep, you now have 4 momentum, and I will allow Calder's lead investigative role to kick in, so you have 2 questions. Primarily, you found that the communication logs do mention in the artifacts, and they do have a rough outline of what they're looking for on their communication scans. Basically, here, find this. This is the artifact you're looking for.
Do we know who put them to the task?
That will be 1 question. It comes from someone called Zareg.
Now let's learn what species Zarang is. Question 2.
Question 2, that falls in line with a Nausicaan name. If you spend 1 moment, and you can get more information on this person.
Should we go for the extra mile?
Well, I would think the simplest way now, instead of spending the extra momentum, would be run a second algorithmic search pattern that references any mention to Zarek and the artifacts.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll just be another reason security or reason in science and scroll difficulty 2. Your computer has learned their language, so the complication and doesn't stand anymore.
I'm a assist.
You can assist, but Tolek has failed Elder Roll, so none of the assists can go through, unless he has something to re-roll.
Do you have determination?
A what?
Determination.
How do you earn determination?
You start the game with one.
Oh, well then yes, I do.
Okay, what value shall you apply?
Understands computers better than people?
Excellent choice. Ice, you may re-roll as many dice as you like.
That will allow me to re-roll what?
As many dice as on the table. So you can re-roll 2 dice, you can re-roll one specific dice.
I can roll, so I can re-roll both dice?
You may re-roll both dice.
Okay, I like that idea.
Okay, you at least got one. Now the ship can assist with computer security, and Calder can assist with reason security.
Okay.
Nice.
And you
Nice.
So a little bit of a frustration on Tolek's part. There was a syntax error in having both search terms, and it was giving you all of Zorag and all of Artifact, but not the collated ones together. And you like, no, wait, I have to put this symbol here and tie it all together, and now you got them both. And cross references is between Zorag and Artifact is lots of references of Zorag wants us to find the artifact. He has references to tasking us to get the artifact, and it's worth a lot of money. And 2 free questions.
What are the origins of the artifact?
Unknown. No reference into origin.
Meeting place after they made the
Nice.
dream team.
Nice. I like it. Let me look at my map real quick. In fact, let me drag you to the map real quick. And I didn't know they were playing a new song. My bad. Okay, if you look all the way over, you guys are in the green circle with a Svallinn in it. Measuring snap center, show the others. The discovery was coming from this sector to Starbase 23. And their meeting place is if I can get my ping right, up here in this sector. But it's a very loose, it's a very, very loose tie-in to that sector. Or the rendezvous point is somewhere in the lines of like 5 light year cubes. It's a huge area.
You ping it again. Oh, the pulse.
Yep, pulse.
Yeah, Pulse and Nebula.
Yeah, Pulse and Nebula. near row puppies. But it's kind of but the rendezvous point is like within a 5 cubic light year zone, and it's just a huge swath of space. And it's nothing specific. This would be like trying to meet up your friend in the car and telling them, yeah, we'll just meet in the state of Colorado. Okay, that narrows it down, I think.
Then we now need to further narrow down meeting place. So, run a third algorithmic search pattern with any references to Zareg, artifact, rendezvous coordinates.
Alright, same roll as before. I'll say with this many search terms, your short list is getting easier, so it's difficulty 1, reason and security of science, assisted by ships, computer security.
What generates an extra roll on the task roll, like an extra dice on the task roll?
You could spend 1 momentum to give yourself an extra dice, and if you want to get yourself a extra dice, you got to spend 2 more.
Let's go with 1 momentum. Spend 1 momentum to gain an extra dice.
Okay.
On the task roll.
Down 1 momentum. Okay, you just got it. Calder and the ship if can assist.
Boom! Okay. I mean, yes. Hell yes.
Gain 2 momentum, and you are capped up at 6. That is as close as the rendezvous coordinates guess. Your best guess is that they were going to fly to that area near the Pulsar Nebula, and further instructions would be given there.
Now, for one of my 2-3 questions is what are some of the precautions set forth? Well, I want to figure out like stuff like if we tried to go in, will that cause any?
You want to know about the Pulsar Nebula and kind of what's going on with it, or what?
Oh yeah, let's do that. I think that's good for 1 free question.
I would have to say that it's not related to your computer search. That would have to be, you would have to log into a different computer subsystem to pull up navigation charts.
By what method would they receive further instructions?
You would assume that they would just pull up to the zone that was etched out and then send and a ping along a certain frequency, and hey, you have the frequency. Because that would definitely be in their orders.
Magnificent. We're making progress.
Oops.
I think we have. I think I might have an idea for a sting.
I like it. I like it. I like it. Any other questions you want to ask concerning your computer search?
What ship does Zarek cap?
In reference to the computer logs on the in reference to the computer logs on the knife wound, the ship Zelrag has as is. Let me pull that up. The Star Stealer.
Star Stealer. I need a computer search for, let's say, utilizing our own computers, time in. We need a computer search for Star Stealer. I need classification, designation of ship type, and armament.
Excellent. Reason security. Difficulty 1, assisted by ship's computer security.
What was that roll again? You broke up halfway through. I got reason, and then what's the other one?
Reason security.
Reason security.
Difficulty 1, assisted by ship's computer.
I got
Someone else might be better than that, and then I could assist.
I got it.
Reason security is turd.
Yeah, you're basically pulling up Zelrag's rap sheet.
Yeah.
I will spend a momentum to give myself an extra dice. I have no focuses because I don't have ship recognition.
For this, I would accept investigation because you're basically like going through. You're looking for this guy's rep sheet of what Zelrag is known for, what he's associated with.
Would forensics still count for investigation, or not?
At increased complication, so complication 2.
You know what? I feel You know what? Yeah, let's just go. Wow.
Oh, Jesus.
So, name, rank, serial number, or firstborn child, mother's maiden name, you get everything. One rep sheet coming up. Goodness, you are mean.
Wow. And I assume we generate some momentum from that.
Yeah, that was difficulty two. So, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my God,
So you have 4 float.
You're crushing.
You have 4 float on the table. So yeah, you can just ask all the questions about this guy. I did have this.
What is the comparative armament between our ship and theirs? Anyone remember
let me.
their ship's name?
The Star Stealer.
Svallinn or Svallinn?
Alan?
I think it's spelt wrong on the sheet.
It's SV. It's
The sheet has so the V is supposed to come after the A, not before.
No, it's supposed to come before the.
Svallinn.
No, it is supposed to come before the A. It's a Nordic word.
I take that back.
Cool.
So GM is the channel. No, the channel has it as the V before the A.
Yeah.
It has one eye, whereas the sheet has 2 eyes.
It's supposed to be 2 N's. Oh my goodness.
Spelled correctly.
The channel.
In all fairness,
The channel is spelled correct. Yeah.
The ship diagram in Roll20 also calls it the crew quarters. So.
Okay, so I'll fix that eventually. Star Sail.
We'll find it one day.
All right. So Svallinn. So we are the Svallinn. Okay. So how does? Great. Now I've forgotten his ship.
Star Stealer.
Star Stealer.
Oh,
Sun Stealer? Star Stealer. Okay. So, how does the Star Stealer compare to the Svallinn in terms of armament?
Um, I am pulling up stats right now.
Do we have stats yet?
Yeah, it's collating.
Okay. Just want to make sure my voice didn't drop.
There you go, Calder.
The Star Stealer is a Scale 6 Nausicaan cruiser with weapons 9, security 3, disruptor arrays, photon torpedoes, and shields of 14.
What was the scale?
6. So 2 more than ours.
Yeah, she is a big ship.
Usually unknown energy signature and fast repairs in combat.
Those are like little cliff notes else underneath. It's just like, hey, there's some weird things going on. There's an unknown energy signature that doesn't correlate with a matter antimatter core.
So it possibly uses a miniature singularity, like a Romulan warbird.
For
Or,
for momentum, I could answer that.
What's the one the Remans use?
Remans use the same thing. Or are you talking Thaleron radiation?
Thaleron.
Do we even know what remans are at this point?
Yeah, they've been known for a while. It's just that they weren't public. They weren't on screen until Nemesis, but they've been known. Because they mentioned in Nemesis that at the Remans were used in the Dominion War, and they were shock troops, and they helped kick Jem'Hadar our butt.
Okay, thank you.
And Thaleron on radiation is definitely known, but it's one of those things of we know how to use this, we know what this is, but ain't nobody supposed to use it because, oh my goodness, it is dangerous. But
Precisely the sort of reason why the Nausicaans would use it.
yeah, but Calder, I can ask. Was one of the questions, is this related? Does this look similar to a singularity core? Or what's your first question?
So yeah, let's figure out if it has some form of singularity core.
Agreed.
Okay, sent to your console.
Okay. Negative does not match singularity core specs.
And you have 5 momentum to ask all the questions.
Does it match any known energy signature?
That is a good question.
Information sent to your console.
Stellar fusion, but it has a imperfect match.
Modified stellar fusion drive.
Which, in response to that, at Talak, give me a Reason Science is roll difficulty 1. And anything related to quantum mechanics could be used as a focus.
Would the focus quantum mechanics apply?
I suppose so.
Alright, fair enough. Scroll.
Yeah, there's a reason why stars aren't used to warping in space-time in superluminal factions. There's not enough energy density to pull that off. Using a star's core to generate a warp field is ludicrous. This would be like this would be like trying to power your. This would be like trying to power your car with a 9-volt battery. There's just not enough power to turn the engine over.
So to have a ship that large, that kind of armament, not a power source.
But you can see the signature. It's generating a lot of power, or equivalent to. It generates enough power equivalent to a warp drive, but it looks like it's stellar fusion, not your standard matter, antimatter, or even singularity core or process. So this guy strapped a bunch of 9-volt batteries together and somehow powering his starship.
Interesting.
Any other questions regarding the Star Stealer or Zareg?
Known accomplices.
Maybe to figure out who he was going to sell it to, the
Correct.
artifact.
There's known accomplices of several people in the in no Nausicaan piracy. He's had a couple of known scruffs with the Orion Syndicate. A Klingon a Klingon house of sorts, and but nothing in particular is jumping out to you.
He doesn't even know a Ferengi.
Yeah, there's one like Ferengi Engi fence that is super slippery, but nothing particular.
Okay. now we know a good amount about this guy. Okay, yeah. Fengi and name Flick. Flik. Maybe he could be the guy he's using to sell the artifact to, maybe, or unless someone else hired Gallic to Zalek to well Zalek ordered his flunkies to do the job.
There's just not enough information on these logs to determine that.
The Klingon house that he had a brush with, does it list them as like rivals or business associates?
I would have to look that up really quickly. Yeah, I'll get that information to you later. I'm waiting for a response from someone else.
Could I get minor clarification? How does his ship stand up against ours, or are we overmatched?
On your scale, your scale 4, he's scale 6. You have a slightly better security and weapon system, but it's going to be a tough fight to take care of this, even standardly. But then there's that weird energy signature that you don't know how that works or what that it's going to be. So right now it's evenly matched, but then there's the unknown energy signature, and you're not sure what that's going to bring to the table.
All right. Well, my thought would be, if the Klingon house he had ties to is a friendly Klingon house, then we find that house's rival house, and we contact them and ask for help, as I'm sure they would enjoy any opportunity to bring disgrace to their rival house.
That's very logical assessment.
And if the house he had ties to, if it went bad, then we contact that house directly and offer them the opportunity to take revenge. Something I'm sure any Klingon would appreciate.
Depends on how we want to deal with with the ship, because our ship is made to fight above weight class.
Yeah, you can fight above your weight and class. You can't. If you know what you're doing, I mean, you can. If you know what you're doing and you're prepared and at red alert, you can and take on a scale 5 class as 1v1. A scale 6 class, you're gonna have to be careful. You're gonna have to be prepared. You're gonna have to have a solid strategy in hand, and you might be able to punch up that high. It's
So we simply make it a numbers game.
that is also an option. It's just really hard to make a solid tactical analysis because you're not sure what that unknown energy signature is. Is it a structural integrity field that helps heal the ship and makes it really hard to punch? Is it a energy weapon of some sort? Is it some sort of spatial displacement in field that makes it hard to hit?
Well, I mean, no matter what we're doing, we are first going to attend to Starfleet to see what they have to say about this. They might give us some reinforcements to assist us. I'd imagine maybe minimum a saber class or two.
That is always a possibility, but you would have to report this to the captain.
Okay.
If there's nothing else you're going to do to figure this out, oh, yeah, there's nothing else you wanted to poke through the files or read up on real quick.
Other than knowing the relationship to those Klingons, I think that's about it.
Yeah, I'll have to get back at you on that. Yeah,
Yep.
but I'll get it to you before next week.
Okay.
So let's report to the captain. I'll let you do it because this section was pretty much your thing. I was just assisting you.
Okay. New scene as we cut over as Calder and Tolek have found this great discovery and a bunch of information about who's involved with this and kind of getting a picture of what's going on. We cut back to the Spirit of Discovery, where Maxis and Archer are coordinating a repair on the hull. Archer is in a tiny worker bee. He has an EVA suit on, and you're definitely handling the controls. But you're a pilot. If it flies, you can handle it. It's not the most comfortable thing, and it's definitely slow and cumbersome, and compared to the Svallinn, but you're handling it. And Maddox, you're on the inside. You're on the other side of the security of the structural integrity field, coordinating everything. And yeah, that's where we find you at.
So we do now have a structural integrity field around the breach.
Yes, we have a structural integrity field around the breach, and Archer is on the comm with you. He's just outside in a worker bee, ready to pull this breacher pod out. And you have an engineering team. I'm assuming you have them in EVA suits and ready to start welding and assisting as soon as the breacher pod is clear.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Oh, this is all set up. No cost on the EVA suits because it's going to be required to do the activity. Did you want one on yourself? Are you going to be hands-on with this, or are you going to be standing outside and coordinating everything?
I'll wear a suit and I'll be hands-on.
Very good. So you have the engineering team as a advantage. You can use that at however you want. We have Archer outside. That's going to be assisting with the worker bee.
Probably spend plasma torch so you get those two advantages.
plasma torch would definitely help here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, that is one opportunity, so 1 momentum, and so you have 1 advantage from the engineering team, and 2 advantage from the plasma torch. We'll just roll this all together to save time. We're not going to do another stand test, but let's say to remove the pod and patch up the hull. All this is going to be a difficulty. Control engineering difficulty 3 roll, assisted by Archer's control con and the worker bees. He's the what system would it be? Let's look at the worker bee. Worker bees.
Well, you're probably using the tools on the front, so those would probably fall. Well, normally I'd say they fall under weapons, but weapons is 0, so that couldn't be it.
Structure or engine?
Well, it wouldn't be the engines. No, because normally, like, even your tractor beam, I think, falls under weapons security.
I thought tractor beam was structure or security.
If it's structure, then that's probably what the rule is. It is structure security. So that's probably what I would say.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so that's the role we're looking at. Actually, instead of assistance, let's break this up a little bit so it's not so bogged down. Archer, you're going to be doing a control con roll, difficulty 2, assisted by the worker bee structure NG, to just pull the pod out, pull the breaching pod out. That was roll a 1. Okay. So you generate 2 momentum. Was that? I don't think that Star Cruise is right.
Yeah, you didn't roll the worker bee right. You hit the button for Starship.
Oh, the Starship crew task, which this doesn't have anything. Okay.
You have it set at 0 and 0, so literally everything is a crit.
Yeah, that whole infinity range. Okay, so you hit the task.
As not an NPC starship, but a starship registry entry. There you go.
Yep, that was not bad. I set that up wrong. So you hit the task as you definitely reach out with a tractor beam and pull the breaching pod out with this, as you would expect, a grating metal on metal sound, but it's space. No one can hear you scream. So there's just this dull rumble throughout the ship and throughout the work bee as this breaching pod is pulled free. And you see the engineering team and and Maddox inside waving away as they give you the all clear that, yay, we pulled this pod out. We see you now. And now it's Maddox's turn with Control Engineering difficulty 3. You have 1 advantage of the engineering team and 2 advantages with the plasma torch. And I'm going to say complication ancient range is up by 1 by doing this in EVA suits. Because you have training in them, but they're still cumbersome. So complication range would be E2.
I don't think I have a focus for hull repair.
Do you have anything for emergency repair?
No, I do not.
Okay. But you do have 3 advantages on the table with your tools and your engineering team. Okay, and how are you going to be using your advantages? You can use it to decrease the complication range, decrease the difficulty, or just create an event that makes things easier.
I think we'll decrease the difficulty.
Okay, so difficulty is down to 2. Or
Oh, yeah. It depends on how many he uses.
yeah, we can have the engineering team bring you down to 2 if you want to use the plasma torch to decrease the comp range and the difficulty. It'll be a difficulty 1, and you'll get no increased complication because these are special plasma torches built for EVA.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so go ahead and roll.
Am I rolling challenge dice or am I rolling
Rolling task dice.
S dice? Okay.
Okay, so you generate momentum and you seal the breach.
I immediately report to the captain that we have repaired the hull breach.
Commander, if you would take command, we will and notify us as soon as you're ready to go to work. We're headed to Starbase 157, I think.
Let me double check.
There, if you look at the map, there's one right behind the ship that's between us and the nebula.
Started at 157.
Yeah, you're going back to 157.
Yeah. Yeah. So as soon as you're ready, Commander, we will take the Nausicaan ship under tow and head for 157.
Here we are on our way back inside to remove these suits.
All right. With that, where's Archer gonna go? Is he gonna be on the Spirit or back on the Svallinn?
I think he'd have to dock back with us. I don't think this one can take his ship.
Yeah, actually, he would have to come back to you guys. So, Archer, or you can take the tiny little worker bee back to the Svallinn and redock up. And will Archer be reporting to the bridge? All right. Archer is. Go ahead, Ed Elder.
I want to try to contact the Star Base because I would like to ask them to do something for us.
All right. Um. Let's have a communications role. Control engineering assisted by ships. Communication engineering. Difficulty normally 1. I am increasing it to 2 for reasons.
Could I assist Elder?
Who asked that?
Me, Calder.
Calder? Yeah, you can assist with this role. And crew supporters could also be available. Assistata. Are we activating a crew support for the engineering role, or is Calder just gonna take over comms for a second?
I will.
Um,
Is this gonna be one task wheel? Well, one dice?
we don't. I mean, you can. We don't really need it. We already got the task.
Oh, you already rolled for it. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait,
Okay.
shouldn't that be a second dice because... Oh,
No,
no.
Archer rolled the assist for the ship and got a complication.
Oh.
And
We
I'm
can
just
spin 2 to squash that.
okay. Dang it! I was gonna have fun with it. 2 momentum to squash, as there is a bit of interference for or some reason, but you tweak the frequency and you manage to get around it. Channel is open.
Starbase 157. This is the Svallinn. I need you to have your engineering crews on standby for an emergency repair to a Nausicaan Raider in about 8 hours. We'll be transmitting the ship's specs to you. In a sense, I'm trying to convince them to beef up Maddox's team so that we can have a very fast turnaround on completely repairing that ship.
Sagan in Svallinn, a Nausicaan Raider.
Yes, as the report I sent earlier and noted, we had a running with one. I'm going to need y'all to repair it.
Presence command and roll difficulty 1.
Would you consider this persuasion?
Yep.
Okay. Take a threat.
Thank you very much. as you generate 3 momentum, so you are at cap. Very well, Elsevin will have repair crews who's ready on standby for a renew arrive. 157 and out. And we now have the advantage of repair crews on standby at the starbase. Okay, and one last check-in with Dr. Sullivan. You still with us?
I am with you. I'm still not quite sure what's going on. I came back and I haven't had a good explanation, but I'm pretty sure Dr. Sullivan doesn't know any of what's been happening either, so I'm in character.
Yeah. Nothing big or explodey is happening. There's been no alerts. General reports have been that the Spirit of Discovery has been repaired, and you are just about ready to go underway.
Did we ever figure out what the artifacts were?
No, but we figured out where they were going to drop the artifacts off, and we know the Nautican group's boss and what ship they have.
Okay, so has Vera met up with me yet?
Sorry about that. Yes, Vera has met up with you.
Okay, so in that case, I'm going to be discussing over symptoms because a person attacking a nurse to go see something in a cargo hold, that's not quite normal. Now, granted, I'm not sure if I'm legally able to have her in my sick bay, but I don't know if she's currently of sound-minded body.
Okay. You discuss the symptoms and go over the toxicology report, and Vera kind of comes to the understanding that obviously she's in distress, as she's been held captive and bodily thrown around and nearly kidnapped by pirates. Her life's work is at risk, and she seems to have a strong emotional attachment to her life's work for reasons.
Honestly, the big issue to me is that life's work. The Nausicaans were after it specifically. She is very emotionally attached to it. It seems to be some sort of ancient computer parts based on other reports I've read. All signs have shown that our doctor is not an android. So it can't be like a computer virus or something. I feel like the only reason I'm annoyed by this is that when I offered to just take her there with an escort, she wanted to be alone. but maybe she was afraid of us screwing something up, but she was. My mind is going in circles. What do you think? Because I'm thinking I need to take a trip to the cargo hold.
Give me a reason medicine and roll difficulty E1.
I'm guessing xenobiology would work out.
There's nothing biological down there. And you crit anyways. So back up to 6 momentum.
Yep.
And your original question is you're trying to figure out if you need to go down and check that at cargo hold yourself for anything suspicious.
I think I'm gonna do it anyway.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. In all of this, the cargo hold has been what's been in there has been central to this mystery, and we've barely even touched it.
I touched it.
Calder has touched it. If you go through the computer logs, you could pull up his report.
I'm gonna do that before I head down.
Also, you'd find out that the reason for the Nausicaa's cabinet is for big money.
Yeah, there's big money attached to the cargo. Apparently huge money, greater than what they would get for, or the weapons, or even the latinum, or the raw materials.
Would we happen to know who put out that?
The ship was the knife wound and its crew was working for someone named Zarag, Nausicaan pirate admiral. What's the proper term?
Pirate lord.
Pirate lord. Yeah, he's a known pirate lord, and Calder pulled up his entire dossier, which I'm gonna have to give more information for.
Power of only 2 2s and a 1.
In that case, I'm gonna head down. I'm guessing it would be a bad idea to hook these hard drives up, right?
Oh, most likely. Considering that they're 200,000 years old, and you're gonna have to basically jury rig a interface with them, and they're 200,000 years old.
What? We don't have USB?
I will say this, there is a little uh, of some note saying we'll wait till paramedics to check them out.
That might be a good idea, but I'm gonna do some other scans that would try to get me data off of them remotely without having to physically interact with them, if that's possible.
These things have no power or going through them, so a tricorder scan would just tell that yep, there's data there, but basically there's none of the data is actually active in a readable state that a tricorder would be able to interface with it.
Right.
You would, at the very least, you would have to get some sort of power going through those data storage devices to even read a file structure.
Yeah, I'd actually like to bring Maddox into this if that's okay. He's docked, right?
Now, Maddox was given command of the Nausicaan ship.
Okay.
I think he. Don't mean the freighter of Discovery.
Yeah, he was given command of the
Oh,
freighter.
wrong. Yeah, other ship.
There's too many ships.
We'd have a fleet.
Don't get ahead of yourself. But yes, you asked a computer, and the computer says that Commander Maddox is not on board.
Okay. Computer, is there a way we could possibly read any of these drives without having to physically interact or possibly damage them? Because, in theory, I feel like it's possible. This is ancient technology, and I'm not a technology girl, but computers are like people, right? That was mostly a joke.
Mostly a joke.
You could
Um,
probably justify it by saying that, like, if you can, like, scan the hard drive and you know what kind of encoding they use, then you could basically just read the information by scanning it, but you'd have to know how their programming worked, how their language
yeah,
worked.
that is a whole nother our hurdle is not only do these hard drives not have power, so you're basically just scanning inert matter, which these are solid state drives. So at some point, if you scan down deep enough, there are individual atoms in certain configurations that is encoding the data. You don't know their programming language. You don't know if they're running Windows or Mac or anything, let alone their actual well, biological tongue.
If they're if they're running Windows, then this story just became a whole lot more interesting.
You don't know about the parallel worlds theory where every planet is eventually going to create an America
I mean,
and write the
not only that, but they have Bill Gates. And they had Bill Gates several 100,000 years before we did.
Bill Gates
but
is
they
immortal.
but they had a John Hancock to write the Constitution too. So
Oh God! Anytime someone says that Star Trek is flawless and has never pulled up, never had any bad episodes, I pull up that one.
you don't like listening to William Shatner preamble?
Oh God! When I first saw that episode, I legitimately flipped a table. A table went end over end as soon as they pulled out the American flag.
But anyway, yeah, I think
Anyways,
this is something I can solve on my own. So I
you are
recommend we just
way out of your depth. This will be like a super extended task with lots of complications and you're going to be starting at like diff 5 to decode these. The archaeologist would be starting at diff 4 because she at least knows where these came from and possibly what language it's in. She has a reference point.
actually. Is she awake?
She's been sedated and her leg has been worked on. If you want to, you can wake her up.
I'd like to see if there's a way I can remotely get her to interact with the drives to see. We're headed to a starbase, right?
Yeah, you're about half a day from a starbase.
Would the starbase base have better resources for these artifacts?
Absolutely, especially since you are not assigned to research or ship.
In that case, we might actually have to wait until then, because she doesn't seem like she wants to talk to anyone. I don't think we have any computer experts on board.
I mean, you have computer experts, and you have people who would be able to hack into like known alien computer systems, because counterintelligence is kind of your thing of like spying and assessing threats. And it's early on, but you're talking threats like Klingons and Romulans and
Yeah,
and
those are known.
and
Those are
Jemadar.
known. Those are known qualifiers. We have no idea what this is.
You know what that is old.
We know it's old. We know that there is a person on board who could help us, but is catatonic. Well, not catatonic. Not doing well.
She's had a bad day.
I'd like her leg is in the process of being worked on, or it has been worked on, and the bone regeneration has done its work, and she's able to walk again.
Bone regeneration has done her work. She can walk again. You have osteo regenerators.
Right. I'd like to have her and the captain woken up and see if I can get them down together to help me out.
Okay. Do you want to do this unilaterally, or do you want to get some of your own crew? Because as far as you know, you're about like 15 minutes away from warping out.
What do you mean unilaterally?
Doing this on your own without informing your chain of command?
Oh, I'm definitely going to inform the chain of command. Hey, we're going to be checking out these weird drives to see if anything bad is on them.
Sounds not like a job for Tolek.
Well then.
So
Does
yeah,
indeed sound like
Elder,
a job.
I'm gonna request that I'm gonna request that we check out these drives and see what's on them that's causing such a large spike in black market sales. As far as I can tell, nothing. If these things are worth more than actual weapons, then I don't know. If I was an archaeological ship carrying weapons,
They were just along for the ride.
okay.
The crew manifest says that at the Spirit was like just going on this way. This is the cargo, and Doctor Soverkros was basically just bought a ticket and bought a ride for a cargo because hey, you're happen to go in the same direction as me.
Yeah, I'm gonna suggest that Tolek take the lead on this, because he's the science officer.
Very well then.
And do you want to start poking at this now, or because Tolek, you would have this. Tolek, you would definitely have the same idea as we don't quite have the resources to be poking around on these. The Starbase would have much more resources.
I think that's very true. Yeah, let's not poke around at these just yet.
That's reasonable. The most logical path to success would be where the most resources are available.
Very, very well then. All right. Before or we take off to the Starbase, any last request? Any last things you want to poke? Anything you want to ask? Anything you want to scan?
I do want to wake up the doctor and the captain. Let's see if they're willing to be able to see if they're actually able to have a coherent conversation.
Okay. You go back to sickbay and you revive them.
Hey, good to have y'all back. Y'all okay?
Jill Thompson is kind of dreary, and she's just asking about her ship and what's happened, and is everyone okay?
Everyone's fine. Your ship are. We're about half a day's out.
Okay, that's very good to hear. I'm sure you Starfleet engineers have helped a lot on the ship. Who knows? I might get another 1,000 light years out of her.
I do have a question for you and the doctor, though.
And the doctor is she seems apologetic.
Hey, don't worry. You were under a lot of stress. You had just been infected by Nausicaans. You had just had your life work threatened. I'm gonna ask a couple questions about that because we've done some digging on the Nautican ship, and whatever you have in cargo, that is what they were after. So I'm just gonna ask a few questions, see what's going on. So before we do anything, what is on those drives? Is it valuable?
It is possibly a invaluable. Oh, the doctor says. As far as I can and tell, these are personal and navigational drives of Iconian origin.
Oh.
And everyone recognizes the Iconians because, hey, there's a big discovery about them being real a couple decades ago.
I think a bit more than 2 decades. Like this was.
It was like 2365, I think.
Yeah, this happened during TNG. This would have been when. Sullivan might have been 13.
Mm-hmm.
So she definitely knows that. That was like one of the biggest
Oh,
factors.
yeah. This made a galactic news.
And she goes, okay, that explains a lot. In fact, it kind of explains pretty much everything so far.
But they're so old and so finicky. These are possibly. I am very well surprised that I found them in such a preserved state. They have so much information on them. We can learn so much.
Question. Do you think it's a good idea to put a stasis field around those hard drives? That way nothing can touch them.
In fact, that was a standard air protocol. Yes, a stasis field would help. I can give you specifications to put a stasis field specifically around them.
In that case, this is a lot.
So, yeah, might want to tell the captain that.
Yeah, I'm gonna basically. And she goes, thank you. GM, can I private message you something first?
Yes. Meanwhile, Dr. Savelkros is yeah, she's apologizing. She was under a lot of stress, as she was as and also she's Andorian. Tempers are kind of a thing.
Oh, trust me. I am very much aware of Andorian nature.
Yeah, just general old Daystrom Institute that we were gonna look over or these drives and see if we can and recover them and decrypt them.
In that case, aren't they more interested in robotics than general hard drive? Well, actually, robotics is a bigger technology.
I thought Daystrom was just a general catch-all scientific nerdy thingy, or am I misplacing that?
You're thinking of Memory Alpha.
I was
Memory
thinking.
Alpha is like the just. I don't think they do research. It's just like a general knowledge place. Like they store all kinds of information.
Yeah, Memory Alpha is like computer by.
I think before Picard, they mentioned the Daystrom Institute as having more to do than just AI research. But I think Picard implies, the TV show implies that AI is a significant part of what they do.
No, everything I'm looking at. Everything I'm looking at says that it's pretty much all robotics. Well,
Okay, so we'll change the Daystrom Institute to Vulcan Archaeology Academy.
yeah. So, sorry about that. I kind of ruined everything.
No, no. Oh, it's good that you caught that. So yeah, she was planning on taking it from one starbase to the next to Starbase 12 and back to the Vulcan sector or to get these carefully decrypted.
Do you think it might be a good idea to go to your rendezvous instead of back to the starbase?
I mean, my rendezvous was the starbase.
Right. Shit. Uh. But But yeah. In that case, thank you so much for telling me.
I mean, whatever we can do to just make sure that information's safe. I mean, it was a find of a lifetime to find those intact.
Oh, 100%.
I'm gonna go talk to your engineering crew and get that stasis field set up, if you don't mind.
Right, you should be able to walk, and I'm, and you seem to not be under any. You seem not to be going. And she waves her hands around in like a sort of strange pattern. She goes, "You're not like that anymore. So, I think you're. I'll discharge you. Hey, Captain, you want discharge as well?"
I mean, yeah, especially if you can get me back to my ship. I would love to help.
We're about to head to warp. We can. We're about to head to warp. I'm not sure getting you back. I'm not sure getting to your ship is an option. I'll talk to the captain about it.
It's not that big of a deal. All I'm sure are she's under good hands right now. I would just like to get her back under my hands.
100%. And Captain, a few minutes later, you're gonna receive a hail from. You're gonna receive a message from Medbay. Hey, so about those drives, I'd like to speak to you in person about them.
And Captain Elder, at this point, you are just moments away from warping out.
Yeah, I'll. Yeah, I'll set up time later.
And Sullivan, and you have a roll to make. The roll I whispered to you.
Gotcha. 1 second.
Okay. And with that, Dr. Sullivan goes into her office, taps on her computer screen in for a bit, and sends and finishes up a report. At that, at Captain Elder or Ensign Archer, Commander Tolek, and Commander Calder are on the bridge with if Lieutenant Commander or Maddox at the helm of the Spirit of Discovery. And on your word, Air Captain, and this little flotilla will take off.
Let's go.
And at that, the three ships if slip off into warp. And with some questions answered, but more are generating, and we now have the precious cargo of the Iconian drives sitting in a stasis field in a cargo bay, waiting to unlock what horrible and terrifying secrets it has. And with that, we will end our episode.
Boom, 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 boom.